What is up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of FitBizU. I'm your host, Jill Coleman. And if you are listening to this episode in real time, it is August 22nd. And I am excited because literally 1 week from today, we are opening the doors to FBA for waitlisters only. So if you are interested in learning how to start or grow your business and you're in year 0 to 2, Fitness Business Accelerator, FBA, is my signature business building course to do that. We've run it 5 or 6 times now. We've had hundreds of people go through this program, and it is something I am very proud of. So if you have not added yourself to the waitlist, go to jillfitfree.com/FBA-waitlist. That's jillfitfree.com/FBA-waitlist to get some of the early details and to get an exclusive offer to join us and an exclusive discount to do that as well. So we are going to be opening the waitlist on August 29th. That is a week from today. And if you have not, or it's past, you're listening to this past that, for sure, just go ahead and hit me up at JillFit on Instagram. We can see what we can do for you. All right. So today we are going to do something special for the next 5 episodes. We're going to do a mindset series. And the reason why this is important is because, especially if you are in the beginner stages of business, year 0 to 2, especially if you listen to the last episode all about problems, one of the biggest problems that beginners or those in the first few years of business deal with are mindset challenges. I wouldn't even say the first couple of years. I think the first 6 months is probably the hardest for people because you're going from someone who's historically been maybe a consumer of content. Maybe you're someone who's on social media, you're scrolling, you're consuming, maybe you're even a professional, maybe you're a trainer, coach, but maybe you're not quite using the internet yet. Maybe you're seeing people in person. And so when you want to start learning internet business, or you want to start branching out and start maybe getting some clients online and building your online roster, it's a completely different skill set. It's easy, quote unquote, easy to kind of show up and train clients in person. Of course, there's always marketing and sales you need to do for in-person business, but online is a completely different animal. And when we talk mindset, there are a lot of big challenges that come up that keep people from taking steps. And as you guys know, you listen to this podcast, I want you guys to be successful. I want you to have long, prosperous careers. And so we need to be able to move through and address some of these big mindset issues. And so what I did was I took to my social media and asked you guys, what are some of the biggest mindset struggles that you deal with when it comes to either starting or growing your online business? And I broke it down, and we're going to go through 5 episodes on some of these big mindset challenges. So the first one is really about overcoming overwhelm, just starting out. And this is really, really important because there's so much information, especially if you're scrolling on social. You know, every other ad is like a business coach telling you that you need to start a podcast, or you need to do an online summit, or you need to, create a funnel. And people are like, what the fuck is a funnel, right? Like, there are things that, it's really easy to get shiny object syndrome, and it's really easy. You're probably the most susceptible ever to a sense of FOMO, or the grass is greener, or I should be doing more, or I'm feeling behind. And so I think it's really important at the beginning stage, because once you're sort of at that more what I call intermediate or advanced stage of business, you know where you're going, right? You know what your vision is. You're very comfortable with the mission. You know, like what's yours and what's not yours. You know what's for you, what's not for you, and you have a plan in place. At the beginning, oftentimes you don't have a plan. And not only do you not have a plan, but everyone else's plan looks better. So even if you start to have a plan, you're like, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. And I want to give you a couple of tools today that I think can really help you sift through the many, many options that you have. And by the way, those options never go away. You just become more discerning on which is for you and which is not. And this is one of the things I tell my FBA students all the time. We get on these calls every week and we kind of talk through, and I always tell them like, hey, we're going to talk about a lot of different types of things you can be doing in your business: email, list building, messaging, marketing, sales, lead generation, product development, etc. It's up to you as the individual. Like, you need to take ownership of the fact that you have to know what's for you and what's not. So if I'm on an FBA call talking about how to create an online membership, right? You have to filter that through, like, okay, is membership really for me? And if it is, great, but it might not be. So this idea that you have to do every single thing is just not true. I mean, and here's the thing is, maybe a membership's not for you for right now, but maybe in 2 years, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do a membership. So it's really important for you guys, as you're listening and you're consuming, to know yourself and go, yeah, do I have the bandwidth for that? Or do I have the skill set for that? Or is that for me? So for example, a lot of people love podcasting. Of course I do. I have 2 podcasts. I publish 4 times a week. But the idea behind that is like, you have to be sort of good at talking. So if you're just getting started and you don't really feel confident in your speaking skills, even if someone's like, hey, you need to have a podcast, probably that's not for you right now, right? There's other ways that you can start putting your content out there, or you can just practice and then at some point be like, yes, now I feel confident enough. There's a whole lot of things when it comes to podcasting. It's like, what's my speaking ability? And, do I have the resource? I have to get equipment. There's a little bit of a learning curve. There's a lot more that goes into it. You have to be consistent with it. And so there's a lot of things to think about. And so at the beginning, again, all of these things look like they have about the same level of importance, and they just don't. And at the beginning, again, you're not going to have the ability to be discerning because you're so new. So it's going to feel like so many things are really important, and they're just not. And so I want to remind you, from my perspective, what I believe are some of the most important things. So first is this: you have to build your audience. First and foremost, I have a lot of people come to me and say, Jill, I just need to create a course. And I'm like, cool, but who the fuck's going to buy it, right? No one there. And that's not bad. That just means you're new. And so first and foremost, remind yourself of the 3 I's of the customer journey. So the 3 I's, the first I is what we call intrigue content. Intrigue content is when you're just posting on social media. It's all your free content. So can I show up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever I'm showing up with value? Do people see me as an authority? Do they see me as an expert? Am I being consistent? If you can't be consistent with your free content, then no one's going to trust you to pay you, right? So like, they need to see you and they need to have these low risk wins with you. They need to try something out. They need to hear your voice or see your face, and they need to feel a connection to you. So your intrigue content is your free content. And if you're not consistent with that, then it's sort of a non-starter. So if you're wondering what you should be doing, it's that, right? And if all else fails, just post on social, because you're creating a body of work that over time will start to speak for itself. The second I is what we call insight-based content or insight content. Now, insight content now is what we call like hoop jumping content or container content, meaning it's still free, but people have to jump through a hoop to get access to it. That hoop could be sending you a DM. Now I have them in a DM conversation. I have their attention a little bit more. Get on my email list. You have to opt in for my email list. You have to confirm your enrollment. Or you can get into a closed Facebook group of mine. You can request to join. So you have to do a little bit more to show your interest. And so your customer, your potential customer, will follow social media for free. Great, get some wins. Then at some point, you'll invite them into this container content where you have their attention a little bit more closely. And so this is where we kind of move them up that pyramid. The second I is insight. And the reason why it's called insight content is because now it's kind of about them. So for example, if they opt into my email list for a lead magnet or for a freebie, maybe it's a challenge or it's an ebook or a webinar, when they opt in, I'm trying to get them a win, right? It's not just me on social media blasting out, broadcasting something and hoping that it lands for somebody. I'm literally in a challenge with a group of people, helping them actually get wins over the course of that 5 days or 10 days or whatever it is. And so insight is now, can they get a win with me as their coach, or a win with me as the person that they're learning from, their mentor? And if I can get them a win for free, like a low risk win, they're much more likely to then want to go to the third I, which is investment content, actually buy from me. This is obviously why we do lead magnets right before our sales, because I want people to be in a lead magnet. I want them to get some wins for free to see what I could do as their coach. And then I want to put the invitation in front of them for them to up level into a paid scenario with me or paid container. So investment content is the last one. So remember, those are the 3 steps. There's no skipping steps. So if you're asking yourself, well, you can't just jump right to a course. I think it's nice, especially if you see, social media ads being like, build a funnel. And it's like, cool, how are you going to fill that funnel with what people? You have to be building your audience first. So start there. If you ever wonder what to do, post on social, right? Give your people something for free so that they want to graduate to insight content, that they want to graduate to investment content. Number 2 is commit to one offer to begin. One offer meaning, like, what are you just going to be the best at? So I usually recommend, especially for beginners, that you guys start with a premium one-on-one offer. But I think it's really easy, and it's also kind of fun to start creating a whole bunch of stuff. I could do this, and I could create this, and I could do this, and a group program, and a course, and a podcast, and all these kind of things. The problem is that people you have to get some wins with one thing first. This will also help you really funnel your marketing energy into one thing. So, one of the things that we do in FBA in the first month is we put together your irresistible offer, your one on one, high touch, premium coaching offer. And a coaching offer isn't like just deliverables. They get these calls and these Zooms and all this kind of stuff. It's what transformation are you facilitating? And who are you talking to? And who do you work with? And who do you not work with? And it's kind of all of these things. We have an exercise we do called niche and pitch. And it's to help you really figure out, who am I working with? Who do I want to attract? And then what transformation am I facilitating for them? And then when you know those things, you can speak right to that person and you can speak right to that struggle. And so commit to one offer to begin and get really good at that. Make money with that. And for most people, it's going to be a one-on-one coaching offer because you just don't have that many people in your audience right now. And you also have people in your audience, friends, family, acquaintances, people who you've known from previous, parts of your life who already trust you. So it's not like you're starting with strangers from scratch. I see a lot of people wanting to start brand new social media accounts when they start their business. And I'm like, don't do that, because now you're starting from scratch with strangers. You're building trust with them. It's going to take time. Use your social media that you already have, your Facebook profile, your personal Facebook profile, your personal Instagram page. Just make it a business page. Now, all of a sudden, you're just talking about content. I promise you, there are people, friends, family, acquaintances who want transformation. They just don't know that you offer it yet. So commit to one offer to begin and get really good at that. And the last thing, and I will say, this is really, really important, and this is exactly how I do it as well, is you have to just choose one mentor and follow all the way through, right? You have to choose one person, follow all the way through. I've been in many mentorships, masterminds, coaching programs over the years. And for me, that's always it, is who has what I need to learn now, right? Who has what I need to learn now? And that's what I do is I go, cool, I need to learn funnel building. I need to learn, one of the things I'm learning right now is team building, right? You guys know that, and scaling. And so I'm learning from James Wedmore, who has a business that's completely scaled and then has an amazing team and he knows how to build that. And so you have to look around and go, who has the success that I want? Who does things the way I can see myself doing them? So choose one mentor and follow all the way through. And then once you follow all the way through, you can say, cool, what do I need now? Who do I need now? Who do I need to access now? But if you are constantly jumping from coach to coach to coach, then you're never going to follow through on anything. And you're never going to know what worked and what didn't work. We see this a lot. When I started out, you guys know, as a competition coach, I was coaching people how to get up on stage as figure competitors and bikini competitors. And I would always have people who I was not working with who would reach out to me like 2 weeks before their show. And they would be like, hey, Jill, I'm 2 weeks out from my show and I really need to drop 5 pounds of body fat. What do you think I should do? And you know what I would say to them? I'd be like, who's your coach, right? Go talk to them. I'm not your coach. And I don't know what you've been doing the last 10 weeks or whatever, right? I'm not going to just coach you for the last 2 weeks. Ask your coach. Don't come to me. Ask your coach. And so choose one mentor and to me, follow through. And we're going to do other episodes in the future on like how to know who your mentor is, how to choose the right mentor. So really, there's just a few things here I want to recap. Number one is remember the 3 I's. You have to audience build. That should always be your default. Cool, I just need to press publish. I need to get something out there. When you don't know what to do that. You can't do enough of that. Number 2 is commit to one single offer to start and get really good at that. Now you can tweak it over time and change it, but I don't want you constantly being like, oh, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. And then it's been 2 years and you've had 5, 6, 10 different offers and nothing's worked because you haven't stuck with it. And the last thing is number 3, choose one mentor and follow all the way through. So if they have a 3-month coaching program, a 6-month coaching program, a year-long mastermind, whatever it is, that's their school of thought. Yes, take the time to find the right mentor for sure. But once you do, put your blinders on, right? You can always go to someone else after. And you'll know because you'll say, here's what I know I need, here's where I know I'm going, and here's who is providing that, and ask if they have coaching. Good? All right, you guys. So overcoming overwhelm, remember, got to be clear on this, got to have your blinders on and really kind of focus. And that's, I know, really, really, really hard at the beginning. But once you start to get more reps, you'll start to see like, okay, this starts to make sense. and I know that I can't skip steps. So I have to start here. And again, this might feel boring to you. One offer, Jill, really? Yeah. It's like, yeah, my mentor always says, your business isn't here to entertain you. And I try to remember that. Like I have hobbies for that shit, right? I mean, and my business does entertain me, but you're going to have some repetition. You're going to have to say the same things a lot before people to understand it, for them to sink in. And so you're just going to have to put your blinders on and decide, cool, I'm going to stay the course for this amount of time. I'm going to choose a mentor, follow all the way through. And then at the end of that, I can decide what I want to do. Good. All right, you guys, that is it for mindset number 1. We're going to go into the second part 2 of mindset in the next episode. Would love to hear any feedback you guys have, or any just questions or anything that you would like for me to answer. You can always hit me up at FitBizU on Instagram or at JillFit on Instagram. And always just appreciate your time and attention. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.